Although the mental scope of even demigods like Brahma was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. Only by such grace would they offer their respectful prayers according to their different capacities. But the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is always unlimited, and His glories cannot be completely enumerated by anyone, even by a personality like Adama. It is said that Ananta, a direct incarnation of the Lord, has unlimited mouths, and with each mouth he has been trying to describe the glories of the Lord for an unlimited span of time. Yet the glories of the Lord remain unlimited, and he therefore never finishes. It is not possible for any ordinary living entity to understand or to glorify the unlimited personality of Godhead. But one can offer prayers or service to the Lord according to one's particular capacity. This capacity is increased by the service spirit. Sevonmukhe jigabadu means that the service to the Lord begins with the tongue. This refers to chanting. By chanting Hare Krishna, one begins the service to the Lord. Another function of the tongue is to taste and accept the Lord's prasad. We have to begin our service to the unlimited with the tongue and become perfect in chanting and accepting the Lord's prasad. To accept the Lord's prasad means to control the entire set of senses. Tongue is considered to be the most uncontrollable sense because it hankers for so many unwholesome eatables, thereby forcing the living into the dungeon of material condition. As a living entity transmigrates from one form of life to another, he has to eat so many abominable foodstuffs that finally there is no limit. The tongue should be engaged in chanting and in eating the Lord's prasad so that the other senses will be controlled. Chanting is a medicine and prasad is a diet. With these processes, one can begin his service, and as the service increases, the Lord reveals more and more to the devotee. But there is no limit to his glories, and there is no limit to engaging oneself in the service of the Lord. Although the mental scope of even demigods like Brahma was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. Only by such grace could they offer their respectful prayers according to their different capacities. Srila Prabhupada describes about Lord Ananta that since time immemorial, Lord Ananta has been trying to glorify the Supreme Personality. But he has not finished yet. Such is the unlimited extent of the glories of the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that as many waves are there in an ocean, there are as many number of incarnations of the Supreme. So if the number of incarnations of the Supreme Lord is unlimited, what to say of the pastimes of the Supreme, the activities of the Supreme? So even the number of incarnations of the Supreme Lord is unlimited. That is what is being described in the Bhagavatam. Now the vibhuti of the Lord's glories is that the Lord's glories are not stagnant. The Lord's glories are ever increasing. The Lord's glories are ever increasing. Because it's not just that Lord's pastimes are increasing, but the point is that the effulgence or the radiance of every pastime is also increasing. Why do we say that the Lord's pastimes are eternal? There are two reasons. One is that the Lord's pastimes are eternally taking place. That is one reason that yes, the Lord's pastimes are eternally being enacted. Just like in the Dham, we say there is Prakat Leela at scheduled times, as mentioned in the scriptures, and there is Aprakat Leela, which means the pastimes are going on, but common people without qualification or not having sufficient qualification cannot see. But in Prakat Leela, even those who don't have qualification can see by the mercy of the Lord. That's what is explained. So, so this is one aspect that the Lord's pastimes are eternally being enacted. So they are always live. That's it. Now, the other aspect of the vibhuti, the other aspect of eternal is that the Lord's pastimes have an eternal impact. The Lord's pastimes have an eternal impact. Just like we hear Acharya is describing that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is continuing. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is continuing. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela has not ended. So the entire Prema Sankirtan mission of the movement is expansion of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And a devotee so engaged will experience the presence of the Supreme Lord. So that is the beauty of the Lord's pastime. So that is the vibhuti of the Lord's pastime. That how the Lord's pastimes are eternal. In what way? Uh, the point is that Lord's pastimes are eternally being enacted. The Lord's pastimes have an eternal impact. And the Lord's pastimes are eternally expanding. What do we mean by expanding? This is another question. What do we mean by expanding? That the Lord's pastimes are eternally expanding. That means If a devotee, sincere devotee, so desires, the Lord can induct him, admit him into his pastime. That is what exactly it means. So this goes to show that so the Lord can admit a sincere devotee into his pastime, and the pastime is going on. So this is the meaning of the Lord's pastime is eternally being enacted again and again. The Lord's pastime has an eternal impact, and the Lord's pastime is eternally expanding. That means that anytime we want, we can also join. I mean, we can file a petition to join the Lord's pastime by the mercy of the Lord. It is possible. This is the vibhuti. So, what is the proof? We see one proof in the one manifest proof in the pastimes of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, when he went to Keturi Gram back, that was his original place of dwelling. He was a prince, but ever since he had gone, the son of his uncle had become the king. And and he got so inspired by the auspicious association of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he took initiation from Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And thereby the whole kingdom was following Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur wanted to install deities of Radha Krishna and Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came across a gentleman who was in a problem. The problem was he had a granary and there were a lot of grains there. But nobody could enter that granary because there were venomous snakes inside. And nobody could get the grains out. Nobody could even dare to step in. So it was inaccessible. This gentleman, this man was very much in distress. He approached Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Narottam Das Thakur said, okay, no problem. We will try. So he decided, Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashay, he decided that he will enter the granary. Rake Krishna Mare Ke. If Krishna wants to protect, if Krishna wants me to live, who can kill? No venomous snake can come and can kill. Mare Krishna Rake can. If Krishna so wants me to die, I can die anywhere, not just in the granary. So it doesn't matter. Thinking like this, Narottam Thakur entered the granary. And when he entered the granary, uh, the snakes were not so prominently visible, but what Srila Narottam Das Thakur found was something very phenomenal. He found the deity of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He found multiple deities of Radha Krishna. So he wanted to install these deities. So the king announced that it will be a very nice festival in the Keturi Gram for the entire kingdom. And then Srila Narottam Das Thakur thought that uh, that anyways we are having a festival to install these deities, and all the citizens of this kingdom will come. And his heart was longing, said, why not all the Vaishnavas from all around the globe come? All Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates who are there on the planet. Why not we invite everyone? So thinking like this, he set the day of the installation to be Gaur Purnima, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And he invited all the Vaishnavas from all around. This was like the first uh, global convention gathering of all the Vaishnavas ever since Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had disappeared. The leader of the Vaishnavas that time was Janava Devi, the eternal consort of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So this was a grand gathering. So many Vaishnavas had come. So Janava Devi was there. I believe Veerabhadra Prabhu was there. Uh, uh, what is the name of the son of Srila Advaita Acharya? I think Achyutananda. He was there. Uh, so many Vaishnavas had come. And therefore, you see, in this gathering, and all these Vaishnavas were being served very nicely. And and these wonderful deities were installed. There were kirtan programs, and actually there were these kirtans program. Narottam Das Thakur himself started singing, and he started singing. He was so absorbed in separation from Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, so absorbed. The six Goswamis. Uh, see, Narottam Das Thakur was so intensely singing in front of the eyes of everyone. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Srila Advaita Acharya, all of them manifested and all of them started dancing. Everyone could see them. Everyone could see them. Everyone could see them. And they were dancing so beautifully. This was the moment. This was a lifetime moment in the life of the Vaishnavas, especially the Vaishnavas who were directly associates of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were in so much separation from the Lord. This was a reliving moment for Janava Devi herself to see her beloved Lord Nityananda personally manifest. Srila Advaita Acharya was personally manifest. What a moment it was. Everyone could see. Everyone could see. What a moment it was. Everyone could see. For a long time, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Srila Advaita Acharya, they were dancing. Everyone could see that. So, now this is 40 to 50 years after Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had disappeared. Chronologically speaking, 40 to 50 years, I believe, in the range of 40 to 50 years had passed since the disappearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it had never happened. Even for 40, 50 years, the Gaur Purnima festival itself was not celebrated in such a pompous, in such a magnanimous way, or in such a magnanimous way. It was first time it was happening in Keturi Gram. And because of that wonderful service to all the Vaishnavas, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself appeared. So this is the meaning of the Lord expanding his pastimes. So this is the point, that we are engaged in the mission of the Lord. The Lord can induct us into his pastimes. The Lord can induct us into his pastimes. So in the we see Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya is that his ardent desire to serve all the Vaishnavas pleased the Supreme Lord so much. He manifested. He expanded his pastimes. Everyone was able to see him. Everyone was able to see him. And Lord Nityananda and Srila Advaita Acharya. So this is the point that so the point is that now when we are talking about Lord's Prakat Leela, Prakat Leela means what? Prakat Leela means that even those who are not qualified to see the Supreme Lord reveals to them also out of His mercy. This was an example of a Prakat Leela. What we are reading in Bhagavatam, in this series section of the Daksha, this is an example of a Prakat Leela also. So while it is being said, the demigods are not qualified enough. They have qualifications, but they are not qualified enough. But still, the Supreme Lord, out of His mercy, reveals. So the Supreme Lord, out of His mercy, reveals to them, and they are able to see the Lord. And they are able to see the Lord. The Lord can shower His mercy on anyone, and we need to know that and appreciate that. We need to know. We need to know that. We need to appreciate that the Lord can shower His mercy on anyone. That doesn't mean that the devotee has become capable enough of measuring the length and breadth and width and depth of the Lord's glories. No. The Lord remains unlimited. But out of His great mercy, He manifests. That so therefore we see that uh, so the Lord manifests. That is the Lord's mercy. So both these aspects we have to remember. Sometimes some devotees, by the mercy of the Lord, get some very beautiful realizations. Because the process of Krishna consciousness is live reciprocation with the Supreme Lord. Every devotee will get some or the other realization by the mercy of the Lord. That is like the Lord revealing Himself. That is just like the Lord revealing Himself. That realization is coming, that vision is coming, like that. So a devotee should feel oneself extremely grateful, extremely unqualified and grateful that this realization has come, and extremely indebted to the Supreme Lord. That is the way one has to receive. But one should not feel proud, because although the Lord has revealed one time, to some extent, little bit, uh, one should not be proud. Why? Because the glories of the Lord still remain unlimited. The glories of the Lord still remain unlimited, actually. So that means that, so the moment there is pride, that blocks further revelations to come. What one has got is still very little, which also may get now that kind of realization and vision may also get foggy in due course of time if a devotee doesn't take it in the right attitude. So therefore, here it is being explained that the Supreme Lord has unlimited glories. The Supreme Lord can reveal to the devotee unlimitedly. And therefore, because the Lord has unlimited glories, the devotee can offer unlimited service to the Supreme. The Prabhupada explains that. So the devotee can offer unlimited service to the Supreme Lord. So the point is that it's not that. So now the Lord's glories are unlimited. That should not be a depressing concept that, okay, we can never understand the Supreme Lord completely. No, that's not a depressing concept. That's a hope giving concept. That means that the Supreme Lord's glories, the Lord's service, uh, and the subject matter of the Supreme Lord is so oceanic that it can keep us engaged, absorbed for eternity. So it's nice, no? So we have to see that in a positive light. So it's a hope-giving concept. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. That means we have unlimited food for thought, for action, for prayers. Uh, and because the Supreme Lord is unlimited, we can for eternity remain grateful and subservient and dependent on the Supreme. So that is the point. Because the Supreme Lord glories are unlimited. We will never become master of the glories of the Supreme Lord. No? Or PhD or postdoctorate of the glories of the Supreme Lord. No, because the Supreme Lord glories are unlimited. So it will never saturate. And therefore, this is the best subject matter, is it not? Just like in business, they see, okay, which is a field which can give profit for a long time. For a long time. That field one should invest. So even a researcher wants to say that okay, which is the field which will get saturated, which will not get saturated for a long time. Something, suppose one field is saturating in 2 3 years. What is the use of going into it? By the time you become master of it, it's gone. No more publication, no more research again. So, but a field which will not saturate for next 40 years, oh, that is an interesting field to invest in, is it not? The Lord's glories will not saturate ah, for eternity. It is the best field for one to invest. So it should be a hope-giving concept, and we can offer unlimited service to the Supreme Lord. That is also very hope-giving. Why it is hope-giving? Because that means in bhakti there will be unlimited adventure. So the process of bhakti will never become monotonous. So nice, is it not? Otherwise, we see even in jobs, people initially here they're very excited. 2 3 4 5 years they become experts. They don't like it very much anymore. Why? Because the fascination is gone, adventure is gone. It's all routine. There's no challenge. It's all dry. It's all mechanical. Bhakti will never be like that. There is always challenge. There is always adventure. There is always excitement. There is always thrill. That is the vibhuti of bhakti. Like say for example, the preaching mission, such a beautiful mission, such a beautiful mission. Why? Because it is unlimited. So how much we can preach? It is unlimited. There are 200 nations in the world. Uh, well, no, we may not have 100 years of life also. So if every year we open two centers, two ISKCON centers in one country, then also we'll not be able to touch all the 200 nations of the world. How much unlimited scope of preaching is there? How much unlimited scope of preaching? Any street we can go and put up a book table, and there are people are now waiting to take it. You know, so like that. So this is Krishna consciousness is that unlimited. Therefore, one should try one's best because this is a process where there is infinite adventure, which is guaranteed for us, provided we are sincere, we are enthusiastic, and that is why one should try one's best. So that is why one should try one's best. As Srila Prahlad Maharaj says, uh, that oh Lord, I have been asked to glorify you. I will try to glorify you to the best of my capacity. Because so to the best of my capacity, because I have been asked and not to glorify you, I'll not try to glorify. Understanding that I cannot completely reach to the limits of your glories, but I'll get purified by those glories. I will get uplifted. So let's stop here for today. Are there any questions? Okay, so we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.